Hello, my motor enthusiasts. Buckle up as we head into the longest season in the history of Formula One, with an unprecedented 24 races lined up. We're off to an early bird start on March 2nd in Bahrain, coinciding with a Saturday, an occurrence not seen since 1982, all due to the Ramadan calendar. Japan shifts its race gears from September to April, while China makes a comeback to the calendar after a hiatus since 2019. All eyes on the Imola race on May 19th, slotted for a European lunchtime start. The clash of titans is expected at the Belgian Grand Prix, coinciding with the Paris Olympics opening weekend. Will Max Verstappen and Red Bull Racing continue their reign, or will we see a new king of the tracks? Audiences are all revved up to witness another high-octane season. Keep your engines running, folks. Hey there, good people. Your trusted voice Enzo is here.
And your ever-reliable commentator, William, is at your service.
Right you are, William. Remember, folks, we're here on the F1 Motor Fever podcast channel every single day. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay in the fast lane with us. Now, full throttle ahead, my friends. Let's break it down, folks. We're revving up for an unprecedented marathon of 24 races this season, kicking off in Bahrain on the 2nd of March. Now, this not only marks the earliest start to a season since 1992, but it's also the first time we're having a Saturday start since 1982. And guess what? Saudi Arabia follows suit just a week later, both changes owing to Ramadan. As we progress, we'll be heading to Australia, Japan, and China. Now, for the Europhiles tuning in, the first European lunchtime race isn't until Imola on the 19th of May.
Could you give us an idea of how the schedule avoids clashing with other major sporting events?
Absolutely. Well, even with this record 24 race season, the championship has managed to sidestep the 24 hours of Le Mans, the Football European Championships, and the Wimbledon tennis finals. The only major clash will be the Belgian Grand Prix, which unfortunately coincides with the opening weekend of the Paris Olympics.
That's quite the juggling act. And what about the viewership? Has Verstappen's dominance had any impact?
It certainly has, but surprisingly, viewing figures in the United Kingdom have held strong. In fact, Sky's F1 channel reached 3.4 million viewers per month during 2023, a slight dip of 6% compared to the previous year. There was a brief slump in the spring, but numbers rebounded by the summer, proving that our fan base remains as passionate as ever. A gentle detour, folks. If you're liking what you're hearing, do us a favor and smash that like button and subscribe. This support fuels the engine of our continuous effort to serve you all with high-quality content, and that too, free of cost. Don't hesitate to share it with your pals too. Just a quick reminder, we're live every single day, and on those thrilling race weekends, we roll out special episodes for your delight. And those Thursday mornings, well, those are reserved for our extra-long special episodes.
Spot on. Your likes and subscriptions do make a difference. All right, let's steer back to our main track.
Despite Verstappen securing the championship by early October, intriguing stories like McLaren's comeback and the first-ever Las Vegas Grand Prix maintained fans' interest in Sky's programming. It's true that the attention has dipped a bit since the gripping 2021 season, but the passion for the sport in the UK remains strong, surpassing the levels seen before the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, Sky Sports has designed a new circuit named the Greatest Track on Earth, amalgamating historic F1 turns into one location, a brilliant blend of AI technology and fan votes.
I like that idea, combining AI with fan input to create a unique and exciting track. But how have other countries fared in terms of viewership?
Not bad at all. Over 1 million fans in France continued to tune in on Canal+. However, the viewership in Germany and Austria saw a significant decline, with a 12% drop in Austria and a 21% drop in Germany. Interestingly, the season remained the second most viewed ever in the United States, just behind 2022. Gosh, I can't help but marvel at the extraordinary world of Formula One. Such intensity, such competition, such an adrenaline rush. It's quite something, isn't it? What do you reckon, my lovely audience? Are you enjoying our journey into all things F1? Don't forget to smash that like button, all right? I'm absolutely loving these updates, and I hope you are too. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. Let's forge ahead. Switching gears a bit, this year will mark a first for Sky not having a large presentation team on site. This method seems to be catching on, as ITV's Rugby World Cup coverage also opted to present from their interactive mixed reality studio in the UK, with only a minimal on-site presence.
That's an interesting trend. It seems to be a way to keep the coverage high quality while adjusting to the constraints of our time.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about the upcoming events. We have a lot to look forward to. Starting on the 28th of February, there will be the F1 Show season preview. Then from the 29th of February to the 2nd of March, we have several practice sessions, qualifying rounds, and of course, the big race.
I've heard that the F1 channel will also be airing Formula 2, Formula 3, the F1 Academy Series, and IndyCar Live this year. That's a lot of racing action.
Indeed, it is. Formula 2 and 3 will begin in Bahrain from the 1st of March, while F1 Academy and IndyCar will start their campaigns a week later. It's a stellar lineup for all racing fans. And it's not just about the races. The punditry lineups on both Sky and Channel 4 remain largely unchanged, with Simon Lazenby and Steve Jones leading the outputs.
Right you are. With David Croft and Martin Brundle continuing to commentate on Sky's offering, and Channel 4 taking F1 TV's commentary lineup featuring Alex Jack, Jolyon Palmer, James Hinchcliffe, and David Coulthard, it's going to be quite the experience.
Can't argue with you there. So much to look forward to. Let's keep our foot on the gas and dive in deeper. In a new development, Sky's regular commentator David Croft will be absent for 3 races this season. Harry Benjamin will step in as the lead commentator for the Emilia-Romagna, Austrian, and Azerbaijan race weekends. Croft suggests it's a move to stay fresh throughout the year. In his own words, "I'm not getting any younger. I want to give a bit of time back to my family and not be on the other side of the world."
It's intriguing to see a commentator wanting to step back and watch the race from a viewer's perspective. It's a different way of looking at things, isn't it?
It is indeed. But personally, I can't help but think that as professionals, we need to maintain that objective, analytical eye, even if we're not directly involved in the coverage.
I see where you're coming from, but let's consider this. By stepping back and watching as a fan, Croft might discover new insights that he wouldn't have held on to otherwise. It's about immersing oneself in the experience of the average viewer.
You do have a point there, though I'm not entirely convinced. But it's certainly something to ponder.
That's all right. It's normal to have differing viewpoints. The key is to keep an open mind.
Indeed. I'll certainly give it some thought. Let's press on, shall we? Moving on to other news. Formula 1 has increased the price of its premium tier service F1 TV Pro in several territories. This is the first significant price change since the platform's launch in May of 2018. In the Netherlands, the yearly price has seen a rise from €64.99 to €94.99. That's a 46% increase.
Hold on a second. I didn't quite catch that. Could you elaborate?
Of course, it's quite simple. The subscription cost for F1 TV Pro in the Netherlands was previously €64.99 per year, but now it's been increased to €94.99. That's an increase of about 46%.
Got it. Thanks for clarifying. But what's the reason behind this price hike?
Well, according to Formula 1 themselves, one of the factors is the increase in the number of races this year. There will be 24 races in 2024, up from 22 in 2023. They're also adding the F1 Academy and more in-depth shows to the service.
Well, that does make a bit of sense then. More content generally means a higher price tag.
That's a good way to look at it. And despite the increase, the cost on a per-race basis remains quite small, considering the amount of content fans get in return. In fact, the most expensive F1 TV price is likely still cheaper than the cheapest price for MotoGP's Video Pass, which costs fans €199.99 worldwide. Just as a side note, the information we've been discussing is sourced from the website Motorsport Broadcasting. An article by David Nelson, dated the 27th of February, 2024. Aren't you familiar with this site?
Although I don't frequent the site, it's known among the Formula One community. But as always, it's crucial to confirm facts from multiple and reliable sources.
Absolutely valid point. Now, shall we proceed? Diving into the world of podcasting, the Fast and the Curious podcast, led by Greg James, Betty Glover, and Christian Hugill, returns for another year of unique insights into Formula One. Throughout 2023, they hosted various high-profile guests, including McLaren stars Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, along with seven-time drivers' champion Lewis Hamilton.
That's a pretty impressive guest list, Enzo.
Indeed it is, William. Hugill explained their aim was to create a podcast that didn't already exist, focusing on the humor of the sport and its inherent silliness. They wanted to make a community and bring people along for the ride.
Sounds like they've struck a chord with the fans there, Enzo.
Absolutely, William. In fact, they've already kicked off 2024 with a bang, featuring both Williams drivers, triple F1 Drivers' Champion Sir Jackie Stewart, Toto Wolff, George Russell, and even had a dinner date with Karan Chandhok.
Seems like 2024 is shaping up to be another exciting year for the podcast, Enzo Watts.
Additionally, Hugill's other podcast, F1 Explains, returns. Hugill presents alongside Katie Osborne, aiming to clarify F1's intricacies to newer audiences. It's all about making the sport more accessible, William.
That's always a good thing. The more people understand the sport, the greater their appreciation for it, Enzo.
That's very true, William Turner. Speaking of accessibility, the 2024 Bahrain Grand Prix will be covered extensively on BBC Radio 5 Live Sports Extra. They've got practice 1, 2, and 3, qualifying, and the race itself all scheduled for broadcast. Formula One enthusiasts in the UK will be spoilt for choice.
It's great to see such comprehensive coverage, Enzo. It'll help bring the thrill of the race to so many more fans.
Agreed, William. It's a testament to the growing popularity of the sport. It's interesting to note the rise of podcasting in the motor racing world, isn't it? A recent analysis by YouGov shows that podcasts are most popular among the 18 to 34 demographic, the exact demographic F1 is attracting, thanks to the Drive to Survive series.
Certainly, it's a powerful medium to engage with the younger generation.
Absolutely. And we can see this with the return of Sky Sports' in-house F1 podcast, led by Matt Baker, featuring guests from their F1 team and beyond. The BBC's post-race output Checkered Flag is also coming back.
And isn't there something new from the Beeb as well?
Yes, they've launched a standalone 8-part podcast series. Narrated by actor Joseph Fiennes, the series, called F1 Back at Base, takes fans behind the scenes of the Mercedes and Williams teams, right from last year's season ender in Abu Dhabi, through the off-season, and into the F1 testing lights out.
So it's all about giving fans a deeper insight into the sport.
Precisely. In terms of new ventures, the race media has decided to overhaul their WTF1 brand for the second consecutive year. Content creators Amber Jones and Hayden Gullis will be leading the brand, aiming to create the perfect platform for new and younger fans to engage with motor racing.
Sounds like a promising endeavor.
Indeed. According to Tim Sylvie, head of talent for WTF1, the brand is looking forward to a brave new era of content catering to fans' needs and have significant plans for channel growth.
It'll be interesting to see how they adapt and grow this year.
Agreed. The challenge for all F1 content generators, be they broadcasters or podcasters, is to keep fans engaged throughout the year. And with the question hanging in the air whether anyone can challenge Max Verstappen and Red Bull, or if the Dutchman will take his 4th Drivers' Championship in a row, it's bound to be a thrilling year in the world of Formula One. As we navigate through this influx of Formula One content, it's clear that 2024 is set to be a remarkable year for motor racing enthusiasts. With the proliferation of podcasts and the rise of new and revamped media brands, there's something for everyone. From the seasoned fan to the curious newcomer, the F1 community is expanding, don't you agree?
Absolutely. It seems that the world of Formula One is reaching out in all directions, not just on the track, but off it as well. The demographic is broadening and the reach deepening. It's a great time to be part of this community.
Indeed, the evolution of media platforms is providing fans with unprecedented access to the sport. While television broadcasts continue to form the backbone of F1 coverage worldwide, the growing importance of digital and podcast platforms cannot be overstated. They're catering to an increasingly diverse audience, providing unique insights and keeping fans engaged and informed throughout the season.
And it's not just about watching the races anymore, is it? It's about understanding the sport, the strategies, the personalities, and the drama that unfolds both on and off the track.
That's right. The narratives that shape the sport and the battles for supremacy, not just among the drivers, but also among the teams, are what make Formula One so fascinating. The question now is, can anyone challenge the reign of Verstappen and Red Bull this year, or will we see the Dutchman secure his 4th consecutive Drivers' Championship? Only time will tell. William, I believe it's about time we had a nosy through the internet, check the temperature of the F1 fans. What's new in the online world?
Right, so we have a comment from a user named Pringle Lover, who says, quote, Matt Schitz had a contract with the 51% Thai owners, which gave him free rein to make various operational decisions, including making personnel decisions independently. This agreement was not transferred to the heirs. Thus, Christian Horner's suspension or dismissal is not possible without the consent of the Thais. Unquote.
Blimey, so it seems there's a bit of a kerfuffle regarding power dynamics at Red Bull.
That's right, and there's a truckload of opinions on this. Taco Lover says, quote, Can someone just make a decision already? Season is about to start and we demand a show, unquote. To which a user named Megafan responds, quote, Seems like someone is being specifically blocked from making a decision. Hehe. Horner may survive if the Thais protect him, unquote.
I see, things are heating up indeed. Any other standout comments?
There's a discussion about one of the Thai owner's son, who, according to a user named Pranay, had a run-in with the law after a hit-and-run in his sports car. This sparked quite a debate amongst the users.
Good grief, I remember that case. It caused quite a stir at the time.
Yes, it did. And in reply to Pranay's comment, user River shared more details about the incident and how the owner's son managed to avoid charges by leaving the country.
Well, that's a real can of worms. It's not surprising that the fans have their own views and theories on these matters.
Absolutely, and some of the comments took a lighter, even humorous turn. Asheron asked if his wife would be safe on her trip to Thailand, sparking a lively exchange about safety and travel.
Ah, the internet. Never a dull moment. I suppose that's why we love it. Thanks for the update, William. That wraps up another exciting episode of F1 Motor Fever podcast. I want to extend my gratitude to all our listeners for joining us today. We've had a roller coaster ride navigating through the latest in Formula One, discussing team dynamics, and even having a sneak peek at what the fans think.
Absolutely. It's always a blast chatting with you, Enzo, and sharing our thoughts with our listeners. And hey, if you found our chit-chat about F1 entertaining, don't keep it a secret. Share the love, tell your mates, your family, your cat. Word of mouth is how we grow, after all.
That's right, William Turner. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. Your feedback is invaluable to us, so feel free to leave a comment or a review. We're all ears.
And don't worry, you won't have to wait long for more. We're here daily, dishing out the latest, the boldest, and the most brilliant insights, exclusively for our loyal listeners. Stay tuned.
Absolutely, William. We can't wait to dive into more hot topics with you all next time. Once again, thank you for joining us on F1 Motor Fever podcast.
And as we always say, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road. Our channel's content is pure gold. See you next time, folks.
Until then, take care and keep the F1 passion alive.